I'm Tiffany, founder and CEO of Career Maven Consulting, a leadership development and coaching firm. The moment I decided to start my business was not so much a moment, but a series of events. I started out really thinking of myself as a freelancer, answering calls. People were asking for resume writing, LinkedIn writing, mini coaching sessions, workshop facilitation. And along the way, I realized that I was building a business. And after a few years of taking on odd projects, I decided to create what's known as Career Maven today. Hired a coach, set up my platform, and the rest is kind of history. I would say what really drew me to doubling down on having a business or thinking of myself as a business owner was two things. One, investing in support and platforms like HoneyBook to create infrastructure around what I was doing. And then two, realizing one day that you cannot find 100% of your happiness and you cannot grow your impact in a traditional 9-to-5 job. I had a really challenging manager experience when I was a few months postpartum, and that really inspired me to think about what else I could do or build to help other professionals who might have challenging work situations reimagine what career and leadership looks like. I knew I wanted to be my own boss, honestly, my whole life. I've always been a little bit of an entrepreneur, so even in traditional work environments, I'm a self-starter. If I know what the goal is or what the strategy is at hand, then I am going to create a plan to go after it. What is now my full-time business really started out as a side hustle, and I decided at a crossroads of either stepping into a new full-time corporate role or stepping full-time into my business that I wanted to go full-time into the business. And a couple years later, I'm happy to report that I am still here. Every day is a little bit different, but when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is typically have a cup of coffee or tea to start my day. I'm an introvert, so I enjoy a little bit of quiet time or as much as I can before I have to get my daughter ready for school and drop her off. Then I usually kick off my workday either with a little bit of movement like yoga, a walk in my neighborhood, and then I do head down focused work and jump into a series of Zoom meetings or in-person meetings depending on the day. And then I usually do school pickup, wrap up my day, and sometimes I have an online workshop or a class, and then a little bit more quiet time before bed and starting all over again the next day. What keeps me going when things get really hard is, one, knowing that I can do hard things. I have jumped over obstacles before, and I know that I have the fortitude to do it again. I'm also a mom, and I want my daughter, who is in elementary school, to see and know that just because things are challenging doesn't mean they're impossible. I'm a big believer that if you can set your mind to something, you can probably figure out a plan to get it done or find people to help you. I'm not sure that my family knows what I do, but when I try to explain it, usually my mom wants to know if I'm hopping on a plane for work or if I'm hopping on a plane for fun. And so I describe what I do as a career and leadership coach, a speaker, and a business owner that works with a network of really awesome, talented people to help people find and do good work. The impact that I want to have on the world is, honestly, I really want every working professional to know that your career doesn't just happen to you. You have the opportunity to make choices. If you don't like something, you can change it. And I hope that the work that my team does really helps people unlock that confidence and agency along their life journey. The impact that I want to have on my clients on the individual side is to really help them understand how to be thoughtful about what they want out of their career. And for the organizations that we serve, I want them to really invest in their talent before they leave, because they have the opportunity to really change the landscape of what workplace culture looks and feels like. And so I hope that the work that I do and the work that our team does really makes a change in the right direction. So the team that I work with now is a band of contractors that support the business internally with operations support and externally client-facing. So we have a bench of career and leadership coaches and learning and development facilitators that are domain experts across the arc of employee experience and employee engagement. I've been able to expand capacity by finding people that are really good at what they do so that when we work with new organizations or new client partners, we can provide services at scale without Career Maven taking on a ton of upfront risk. My biggest inspiration is my daughter, Olive. And it might sound a little bit cliche because I know every parent probably says their kid is their biggest inspiration, but I genuinely love her and am deeply inspired by how she sees the world. She's a little bit of a spitfire. She is an only child, and she is one of the biggest encouragers of my business. I'm actually writing a book, and as an example, part of the reason why I'm writing the book is I told her once that it was an idea that I had, and she asked me every 2 days if I'd gotten started until I started. And so it's just an example of how I want to do the things that I say I'm going to do, be the parent that I say I want to be, and hopefully make an impact in the world so that when she is an adult and stepping into professional spaces, she knows that she has a lot to offer and she can make choices about the type of work that she wants to do. A perfect day in my business is one that has a healthy amount of variety. So a section of the time will be quiet, focused work time. A section of the time might be client-facing time. And a section of the time is going to definitely be business development. For me, a perfect day is when I have a balance of all three. So I can be creative, I can be providing service delivery or talking to the team, and I can be prospecting or cultivating leads. Small things that bring me joy in my workday include things like past clients sending me status updates on new projects or new opportunities that they've taken on, or sometimes when we find out that the work that we've done with an organization has made a substantial impact on a company's culture for many months or years after we've touched that organization. And sometimes other joys are smaller, more discreet things like clearing my inbox.